Hello everyone. Today I have with me a very old friend NIKET Joshi, who happens to have cleared RBI Grade B examination 2016. We are not only going to talk about information on what to study and what not to study for RBI exam, we are also going to discuss a very important issue, and that is the internal and psychological issues that every aspirant faces and that he also happens to have faced for a long 3 to 4 years of his life when he has been preparing for RBI and other examinations. So let's come to our first question, and that is, instead of asking why RBI, let me ask you, how did you prepare for RBI and how did you work towards it?
I have done my civil engineering from DCE. Immediately after passing out, I gave a couple of attempts in civil services but did not get selected despite multiple efforts. In the meantime, I got selected in a public sector bank as probationary officer and started working in my hometown Udaipur. I came to know about RBI and its importance after working in the banking sector, and I knew I had the ability to crack this exam, so I started studying for it. At the same time, I also took some attempts in civil services. So the first thing that I believe was important in this journey was self-awareness about my likes and dislikes, about my strengths and weaknesses, about the affinity towards work. For example, I found myself more comfortable in the objective pattern of the RBI rather than the more subjective focused pattern of civil services. So I decided to focus on RBI more. But while working in the banking sector, I realized that I had an interest in the banking sector, and the most important thing that one has to remember is to do what you want to do rather than doing what others want you to do.
So my second question to you, Niket, is there has been a myth in the minds of aspirants that engineers have an edge in RBI examination now. What exactly do you think about this?
Well, I believe that it is a myth. There are people who can work hard in almost every field. If you work hard and if you work smartly, you can crack any examination. There were two things that worked for me apart from my hard work, and that they are I prepared for UPSC examination, and because of that my economics portion was prepared. And secondly, I was working in the banking sector and I had cleared JAIB, so my banking portion was also strong. But nevertheless, I believe that if anybody works hard, they can certainly clear this examination.
So the third question to you, Niket, is what are the sources that you used in the preparation for RBI examination?
Yes, this question has been the most common since the result came out on 17th of February. I believe two things are important. First, using the right source. Secondly, retaining whatever you have read. The examination is such that it is very difficult to find one book for many sources. I use internet wisely, understanding the demand of the examination to gather as much information as possible, and did not get carried away in the belief that I have to use one book only. It is important to remember that we should spread our horizons, but also organize whatever we read so that we can revise it in time.
My next question to you, Niket, is how did you manage work and studies, because you were already working in a public sector bank?
Well, it is certainly difficult preparing for any examination while working in a bank, because the working hours are quite lengthy. But I think what's more important is continuity in your study schedule. If one person studies 10 hours in a day and then does not study for next 3 days, while another person studies for 4 or 5 hours a day, but he studies every day, I believe the second one is bound to do better.
So my next question to you, Niket, is how has life changed from a PO in public sector bank to a manager in RBI?
Well, it has boosted my confidence and given me happiness and mental peace. But individually, I believe there will be better work environment, better pay and prospects, better growth, and better work-life balance. Also, as RBI is banker's bank and I have been working in a public sector bank, so the perspective of people around me has certainly changed post my selection.
So Niket, in your journey, what has been your biggest challenge till date?
Well, I will put it this way that इकलौती चीज़ जो संभल नहीं रही थी वो था समय, क्योंकि समय मेरे पास कम भी था क्योंकि पढ़ने के लिए बहुत कुछ था, और समय कट भी नहीं रहा था क्योंकि फेलियर्स मेरा पीछा नहीं छोड़ रहे थे.
So Niket, my last question to you is what would be the ultimate message that you would like to give to aspirants?
Well, the last 4 years of my life have been very rough. I have faced multiple failures in my life, but have also realized that one has to keep working towards personal improvement and growth. Rather than getting bogged down by failures, one has to take everything in his stride. One has to have faith in God, be confident, work towards everything. I feel much more confident and happy that I have achieved something on my own after all these years. My favorite lines, which I always keep with myself, are that मंजिल में ही जाएगी, देर ही सही, गुमराह तो वो हैं जो घर से निकले ही नहीं.